Greetings, friends! It is a wacky spring. I don't know about you, but for us, it's been wacky. I'm not even talking about the global craziness that's going on. Outside of that, it's still been wacky. Let me know in the comment section below. How is your spring going? It's been windy, we've had more rain than normal, and the temperature has been all over the place. Just last week, it was 86 degrees, almost 90. Excuse me. And then we just had temperatures right at freezing. I knew looking at the forecast, it was going to be close to it, because the closest city that we live to, big city, is Charlotte. So that's what we see on the weather. And it said it's going to be 38 degrees, and I'm like, oh no, because we're usually about 5 degrees where we live colder than Charlotte. So I was up real early in the morning watching the temperature to see how it went. But thankfully, with seeing those temperatures, I went ahead and we covered a number of things. So we're gonna uncover those this morning, because later this week, it's supposed to be back up into the 80s. This year we've gotten a fairly early start on our squash. So just as a precaution, I covered them with the plastic here. But thankfully we didn't have any freezing temperatures, and the squash is totally fine, and they're producing fruit on a number of plants now, so we're pretty excited about that. And you can see right here there's a couple patty pan squash growing right there. Pretty exciting. A number of weeks ago, we had some really bad storms and high winds that came through, and there was actually a tornado that had tore out a number of trees not too far from here, and it did a lot of damage to a lot of people's property. And part of that was we had some damage to our caterpillar tunnel here. So I just went ahead and took the plastic down, and this week we're going to be working on doing some modifications to it to help it to be a little more resistant to wind. But nothing's really resistant to a tornado. But right in here, I also had some peppers that we covered up. Go ahead and uncover these. Those interplanted with some radishes. We need to clean up this bed, but you can see here, we got our pepper plants growing through here. And I have found that they are really susceptible to frost damage, so I really wanted to make sure that those guys were protected.
Didn't know I just saw you.
You found me? Mm-hmm. Hey pal, how are you?
Good.
You gonna give me a hand in taking this plastic off?
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully you don't blow away on me.
Me.
No, you don't take the bar out. Go like that. Just walk down there and take it over. Yep, flip it over it. Yep, doing a good job. Yep, just be careful, don't step on the pepper plant. This plastic was in an area that we were working on and using the excavator, so the area was pretty muddy. And as a result, the plastic has a lot of mud on it too, so we probably need to clean this off just so it'll be ready for the next season when we need it again back in, later in the fall. So light actually comes through a little easier. But keep moving on. And speaking of the cold temperatures, I really need to go check on the chicks, because this has been the coldest temperatures that they've had to deal with in the new brooder, so hopefully they're all right. You gonna come with me to check on the chicks?
Uh-huh.
Come on, man.
Maybe even not big, Daddy.
Yeah? They got a little bigger?
Uh-huh.
Almost as big as you?
Mm-hmm.
Don't say one more you. You hear them?
Uh-huh.
How do you think they're doing?
Good.
Let's see. Take our insulation off. And there they are.
Big.
They're getting a lot bigger, aren't they? Growing fast.
Mm-hmm. That one's bigger. That's big.
I must say I'm really impressed with these Cornish crosses. We got these from the Murray McMurray hatchery, and out of 50 we've only lost one so far, and all the other ones seem to be doing just fine. Alright. Sit you right up here, sit down. Sit down right there. Alright. Put some more fine shavings in there for them. There you go. You're doing a great job. Keep putting it in there. As the kids grow, I try to get them involved more and more with various tasks on the homestead. So that way they are able to do these things too. That way it's not just me trying to run the farm, but they can do it. Yeah, you're doing a good job. The goal with parenting is to help the children as they grow and develop, to transition them to be ready for adulthood when it comes. About got it there. Alright, just dump it on in. Come on down. Thank you, man. Whoop, don't leave your leg behind. That's good, Josiah. Good, Michael. Alright, we'll go ahead and get them some new water too. Oh, how's their feed look? Feed's okay. Actually, we'll top it off. Alright, can you get them some more feed from there? Right behind you. There you go, just scoop it on in.
I got a snail.
Yep, pay attention though. Thank you. Yep. Looks like they're a little thirsty. All right, Micah, you got the feed filled up yet? Can you bring it here? Thank you. It's breakfast time, ladies. Maybe gentlemen too.
And boys and men.
Yeah, boys and girls in there. All right, so the chicks look fine and well. Let's go head back outside where we need to uncover some more plants. Some more squash we have. Some other beds here in our raised beds near the greenhouse. And see a number of squash on this one. See that, Micah? I'm so glad things didn't freeze over, because that really could have ruined our spring garden. It really could have did a damage on a lot of things, especially the squash. I'm thankful I covered it up, but still we have so many other squash plants and cucumbers and different things planted out in other portions of the garden that we didn't have enough plastic for. And if it would have the temperatures would have been freezing, it could have really did a number on them, wiped them out possibly. Also right here we have some eggplant. Looking decent. These are some of the eggplants that we did in the video where I showed you how to do an instant garden, taking it from grass to growing within just a few hours. And these eggplants are still doing just fine from it. Need to clean out this walkway. So they're doing just fine, and hopefully here pretty soon they'll start flowering and then bearing fruit. Looks like it's going to be another windy one, but thankfully it doesn't look like there'll be freezing temperatures again, hopefully anymore until the fall. So looks like we're in the clear for that. But we really have a number of plants that need to be transplanted, and we need to transplant them in areas such as like right here where I have this tarp. And we got our work cut out for us today. We'll need to rally the troops and see what we can get done today. Alrighty, I got hung up on another project, but that's the way it goes around here. There's a lot of things that we do off camera that you don't even see. But it's time to get back to working on the plants and stuff in the garden that I mentioned earlier. And the rest of the team is putting some things together so that way we can have everything that we need. Because look here, we got all these things that need to be transplanted, like this okra here, a bunch of okra. So we're gonna focus on that, as well as all this lettuce down here needs to be transplanted. So one of the things that we're gonna do is we're gonna do another Insta garden. I did a video not too long ago about that, how you can go from grass to a garden in just a few hours. So we're gonna need to do that in the area that I haven't had a chance to fully prep yet, but I'm gonna show you again how we do the Insta garden. Oh, so this is the area that I was talking about. Need to do a bed right through here, but we have all this grass. So we need to do something about that. Alright, so we're going to be using our Greenworks weed eater here. I really like these battery powered ones because I don't have to worry about it not starting. Once the battery's charged, you just push the button and it goes. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is get some of this grass down. Alright, so this is going to be a whole new bed. Actually, I plan to do 2 beds here. So to make sure I can do that, first I need to measure it out. Alright, we do 30-inch wide beds, so we're going to make sure it's 30 inches. From our walkway, edge of our walkway, to where we want the edge of the bed to be. So we're going to go tighten it up a little bit. Right there, 30 inches. Alright. Alright, we'll see if we can make another one. I'm pretty sure we can here. I just want to make sure we have enough room for our walkways too. Our walkways, we've done 12 inches in the past, but I'm trying to widen them a little bit, maybe I'm going about 16 to 18 where I can. So let's see if we can make it happen. Alright, so we're going to try to get our second bed in here. 30 inches wide. Right there. Down we go. That puts us right there. Alright. Oh, just like that. It's warmed up a lot. Hard to believe, not too long ago, we were right at freezing. Still windy, but it definitely is warmer outside. So in the video that we did when we did the Insta bed, we used newspaper. This time we're going to put our soil down on top, the fertilizer, and then we're going to use the landscape fabric on top of that. So we're trying something a little bit different.
There you go.
Perfect timing.
First load.
Bang, right on time.
That's right.
So we're going to do a little bit different than last time we did the Insta bed. So this time we're not going to use the newspaper as a barrier in between the grass and the soil. But this time we're just going to put the compost right on top, and we're going to use the landscape fabric to put over the compost, and then plant the transplants right into that. And the landscape fabric will act as a barrier with the compost to suppress the grass from coming up. So we're going to try that, see how it works, and then a little bit later on we can compare. This is okra that we're doing here, and before we did eggplant and squash with the newspaper method and cardboard. So
nothing wrong with experimentation.
We're just going to experiment a little bit. Also, let us know, what is something that you're doing that is new this year, whether it be something you're growing for the first time or something you're trying for the first time. Let us know. Also, we'd love to feature you on our videos at some point. So if you have something you want to share, whether it be a video of you in your garden and something you're doing, please feel free to share it with us. So bang, we have compost added to this bed. It's ready to have fertilizer added to it next, and I'll rake that in. and then we'll put the landscape fabric on over top of that, and then we'll pop in our transplants, and should be good to go or good to grow. I know some of you have so many suggestions probably with the way I'm doing this right here, and saying things that you have seen on other videos and how to do best. But you know what? You need to experiment with the global crisis. Some people are starting or wanting to grow a garden for the first time, but they didn't have things ready and they didn't have them prepared, so they want to start growing things fast, instant. And put it on my mind to experiment with things to see how fast and efficiently we can start growing things. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Too many times we overanalyze things, and as a result we kind of get in a analysis paralysis where we're like, ah, and then end up don't doing anything. Someone had mentioned to Lacie not too long ago that they didn't start a garden, and they've been waiting to put off to start their garden because temperature wasn't perfect. You know what? Sometimes you just have to get out, try things, experiment. Each year I'm finding I can start a garden, I can start growing things sooner and sooner than I thought that I could. So enough with the rambling. But yeah, same with you. Enough with the rambling in your head too, and just start growing, start doing what you can do. So let's get some fertilizer in this bed. Some of you have asked about what fertilizer I use in the garden. Well, I use a couple things, all organic of course, but I'm going to include that in an upcoming email. So if you haven't subscribed to our newsletter, make sure you do. Last year we experimented with growing okra for the first time here, and we just grew a couple plants. But it's always exciting growing something new for the first time. What are we growing this year that you're pretty excited about that's new?
I have roselle starts going, and I'm excited to plant those. And you make hibiscus tea from them.
There we go. Yummy tea. I love tea. I'm not a coffee guy, but I like tea, especially different types of herbal infusions, and I'm a tea guy, not a coffee guy. All right, man, you're doing a great job.
Thanks.
Okra, you can plant them anywhere from 12 to 18 inches apart. We're going with 12, seeing how it goes. All right, so this bed is done. Okra's in there, and we'll water here in a little bit. Still have this other bed to do here. However, we're out of landscape fabric, and with the wind the way it is today, we're not even going to try to do the newspaper or cardboard, so we'll try to do that another day. But we do have that lettuce in there that needs to get transplanted, and we already have the landscape fabric down for it and ready to rock it out. So let's get that planted right now. All right. Alright, well, this is where the real fun begins. All the lettuce that we have to transplant in this bed takes a little bit of time. So we're going to focus on that and check back with you later. But I also want to thank those of you who have reached out to us, letting us know that you're in need for the Bootstrap Farmers gear as well as the Baker Creek seeds. We're going to be reading over those, looking over those, and plan to start shipping those out pretty soon. So. And also thank you to those of you who have contributed so that way to be a blessing to those people in need. So thank you for those of you who contributed in that capacity as well. Well, that's it for now. As always, grow on, be strong, and live life without excuses. I hadn't said that in a while, but it's a good reminder.